Okay, get this. Most people over 60 are eating walnuts completely wrong. You've heard it 1,000 times. Walnuts are great for your heart, your brain, your memory. And sure they are, when you eat them right. But here's the crazy part. That same handful of walnuts that's supposed to protect your heart can actually hurt it if you're not careful. I've seen it over and over again. Seniors loading up on healthy fats, thinking they're doing everything right, when in reality, they're slowing down their metabolism, upsetting their digestion, even interfering with their meds. And the wild part? Almost 95% of older adults make at least one mistake that completely cancels out the benefits. So before you reach for that next handful, hang tight, because I'm about to break down the 5 walnut mistakes almost every senior makes and how to fix each one instantly. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to eat them, how much to eat, and how to store them. So those omega-3s actually help your heart instead of quietly harming it. Trust me, mistake number 3, hardly anyone talks about it, but it could literally change how you eat walnuts forever. Let's start with the biggest and most common mistake. And honestly, it's one I see all the time. People think that because something's healthy, more of it must be better. That's the healthy food trap. You know how it goes. You hear that walnuts are packed with good fats, antioxidants, and omega-3s, so you start tossing them in your oatmeal, grabbing a handful while watching TV, maybe even doubling up because, hey, it's healthy, right? But here's where things go sideways. After 60, your body doesn't handle those healthy fats the same way it used to. A single ounce, just 7 walnut halves, has about 185 calories and nearly 18 grams of fat. And while that's great fuel in moderation, it still has to be digested, absorbed, and metabolized. Now, here's the kicker. Once you hit your 60s, your metabolism naturally slows down, your digestive enzymes drop off, and your liver can't process fats quite as efficiently. That means when you eat too many walnuts at once, instead of boosting your energy, they can make you feel bloated, sluggish, or even cause mild diarrhea. I've had patients tell me they felt heavy for hours after what they thought was a healthy snack. Take Eleanor, for example, a 72-year-old patient who swore she was doing everything right. She'd cut out desserts and switched to smart snacking, but every night before bed, she was eating 2 full handfuls of walnuts. That's almost 400 calories, right before her body goes into rest mode. Within 2 weeks of cutting back to just 7 halves in the afternoon, her energy came back, she dropped 3 pounds, and even her reflux disappeared. The truth is, after 60, your body runs on precision, not excess. Too much of a good thing turns into stress for your system. The fix? Stick to 1 ounce a day, 7 halves max, and eat them slowly. Pair them with something light, like apple slices or a spoonful of Greek yogurt. The fiber and protein help balance how your body absorbs the fats. Think of walnuts like natural medicine, powerful but potent. The right dose heals your body. Too much just overwhelms it. But here's where it gets even crazier, because even if you get the portion right, eating them at the wrong time can quietly undo everything. So you've nailed the portion. You're sticking to that perfect handful, eating mindfully, feeling good. But here's the thing. Even the healthiest foods can backfire if you eat them at the wrong time. And walnuts are a prime example of that. See, walnuts are loaded with healthy fats, fiber, and compounds that protect your heart and brain. But those same nutrients can also slow down digestion. And if you take medication, which, let's be real, most people over 60 do, timing becomes everything. Here's what's really going on inside your body. The fats and fiber in walnuts delay how fast your stomach empties. Sounds harmless, right? But when that happens, your meds stay in your digestive system longer, and your body absorbs them more slowly, or sometimes not completely. According to research from the Mayo Clinic, this can delay medication absorption by several hours, especially for heart, thyroid, and blood pressure drugs. Now add this to the equation. After 60, your stomach acid production naturally decreases and your liver's fat metabolism slows. So when you snack on walnuts right around pill time, your body's juggling both medication and fat digestion, and neither one works as well as it should. Here's how it plays out. You might notice your blood pressure meds aren't as effective, your thyroid levels fluctuate, or you feel a bit off and can't figure out why. And if you eat walnuts late at night, that's when things really get uncomfortable. Since your digestion slows by almost half during sleep, those fats can cause acid reflux, gas, or restless nights. The fix is simple but powerful. Separate your walnuts from your meds. Give yourself at least a 2-hour buffer. Let your prescriptions do their job first, then enjoy your walnuts as a mid-afternoon pick-me-up around 2 or 3 p.m. That's when your metabolism steadies out and your energy naturally dips. And here's a pro tip. Pairing walnuts with fruit or yogurt in the afternoon not only boosts energy, but also keeps your blood sugar balanced. You'll feel sharp, fueled, and light, not sluggish or bloated. Because at the end of the day, it's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it. And speaking of timing, the next mistake might surprise you. Because even if you eat the right amount at the right time, combining walnuts with the wrong foods or supplements can quietly mess up your health in ways most people never realize. Alright, here's where things get a little tricky. And honestly, this is the one hardly anyone talks about. You could be eating the perfect portion of walnuts at the perfect time and still be doing damage if you're pairing them with the wrong foods or supplements. See, walnuts are a nutritional powerhouse. They're loaded with omega-3s, specifically something called ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, that supports heart health, brain function, and inflammation control. But here's the kicker. Too much of a good thing can tip the scales in the wrong direction. If you're already taking fish oil or eating salmon regularly, adding a big handful of walnuts might push your omega-3 intake way past what your body can safely handle. And when that happens, your blood can actually thin more than it should. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that high omega-3 intake, especially when combined with blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin, or clopidogrel, can increase bleeding risk by up to 40%. So picture this. You're trying to do everything right. Heart-healthy fish for dinner, a fish oil capsule in the morning, and walnuts as a snack. And without realizing it, your body's struggling to keep your blood chemistry balanced. That's how good intentions can quietly turn dangerous. But that's not the only interaction to watch for. Walnuts also contain compounds like phytates and tannins that can block iron absorption, up to 60% according to nutrition studies. So if you're taking an iron supplement or trying to manage anemia, eating walnuts at the same time can make your body absorb less of that iron. You might start feeling more tired, notice brittle nails, or get lightheaded, even though you're doing everything your doctor told you to do. And there's more. Because walnuts are rich in fats and fiber, they can also slow the absorption of certain medications, especially thyroid and heart drugs. It's not that walnuts are bad, it's that your body needs breathing room to process them properly. Here's the simple solution. Balance and spacing. If you're on blood thinners or fish oil, scale back to 3 or 4 walnut halves a day instead of 7. And if you're taking iron or thyroid medication, keep a 2-hour window before or after eating walnuts. That small timing adjustment can make a massive difference. Think of it this way. Your body after 60 is like a finely tuned machine. Every part works together, but it also has limits. When you respect those limits, your food stops working against you and starts working for you again. And speaking of things working against you, the next mistake is one that catches almost everyone off guard: buying and storing walnuts the wrong way. Because even if you eat the right amount at the right time with the right spacing, if your walnuts are old or stored incorrectly, they can quietly turn toxic. Now here's something most people never even think about. You could be eating the healthiest food in the world, but if it's stored wrong, it can quietly turn harmful. And sadly, that's exactly what happens with walnuts more often than anyone realizes. See, walnuts are incredibly fragile. Those heart-healthy omega-3 oils everyone raves about. They're also highly unstable. The moment those oils are exposed to air, light, or heat, they start breaking down, a process called oxidation. When that happens, those same healthy fats that once fought inflammation start causing it. Here's the wild part. A study in the Journal of Food Chemistry found that over 90% of bulk bin walnuts in grocery stores were already partially rancid within just 3 months, even if they looked and smelled fine. So if you've ever grabbed a big bag from the supermarket shelf and left it sitting in your pantry for weeks, you might be eating oxidized fats without even knowing it. And the effects aren't small. Rancid walnuts can trigger inflammation in your joints and blood vessels, upset digestion, and even contribute to fatigue and brain fog. Basically, they flip the script. from healing food to hidden toxin. The problem is, most people don't recognize when walnuts have gone bad. They'll say, "Hey, they just taste a little bitter," or "That's just how walnuts are." Nope. That bitterness or faint paint-like smell is your body's warning sign that the oils have gone rancid. So here's how to keep them fresh and powerful. Buy small batches, enough for about a month. Skip those massive warehouse bags or open bulk bins where air and moisture have already started the damage. Once you bring them home, store them cold. Seriously, treat them like medicine, not pantry snacks. Keep walnuts in an airtight glass jar in your fridge for up to 6 months or in the freezer for a year. Cold storage slows oxidation dramatically and keeps those healthy oils intact. Avoid clear or plastic containers. Light and heat speed up rancidity. And if you like a toasted flavor, roast them gently at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes, just enough to warm them, not burn them. The difference is night and day. Fresh walnuts taste mild, buttery, and slightly sweet. Rancid ones taste sharp, bitter, or sour. If in doubt, toss them out. It's not worth the risk. When you protect the oils, you protect your health. Those omega-3s, antioxidants, and vitamin E compounds stay active longer, defending your heart, brain, and joints. But hold up, because even if your walnuts are fresh and stored perfectly, there's one last mistake that could still catch you off guard. And it's not about what you do with your walnuts, it's about how your body reacts to them. Now here's a mistake that surprises a lot of people, even those who've eaten walnuts their whole lives with no problem. Most folks assume food allergies only affect kids, right? But new research says otherwise. In fact, adult-onset nut allergies are rising fast, and walnuts are one of the top culprits. Here's what's really happening. As we age, our immune systems evolve. The gut barrier that once kept everything running smoothly starts to weaken, and digestion slows down. That means your body can suddenly react to foods it's been fine with for decades. Sometimes it starts small, a little tingling in your lips, an itchy patch of skin, or some unexpected bloating after a handful of walnuts. A lot of people shrug that off, blaming getting older or indigestion, but that's your body whispering that something's off. And if you ignore it, those whispers can turn into full-blown allergic responses, swelling, throat tightness, dizziness, or even difficulty breathing. That's an emergency situation, and it can come out of nowhere if you're not paying attention. And here's something most people never think about: cross-contamination. Roughly 95% of packaged walnut products in the US are processed in facilities that also handle peanuts, cashews, or almonds. For anyone with even mild sensitivities, that trace contact can trigger inflammation, gut distress, or fatigue. So how do you stay safe without giving up walnuts entirely? Easy. A few mindful habits make all the difference. Start small. If it's been a while since you've eaten walnuts, begin with just 2 or 3 halves a day and see how your body responds. Check the label. Look for processed in a facility that also handles other tree nuts or peanuts. If you're sensitive, skip those. Store smart. If you buy in bulk, rinse and dry them before refrigerating to remove residue from shared bins. Listen to your body. Any tingling, itching, or unusual fatigue? Stop immediately and talk to your doctor. Explore alternatives. If walnuts don't agree with you, chia seeds, flaxseed, or pumpkin seeds offer similar omega-3 benefits without the risk. The key here isn't fear, it's awareness. Your body changes with time, and food that once healed can later irritate if you don't listen. Healthy aging means staying alert to those changes, respecting what your body's telling you, and adjusting accordingly. Because real wellness after 60 isn't about eating everything healthy. It's about knowing what your body still welcomes. But before we wrap this up, there's one more thing you need to know. Even if you're not allergic, there are 5 groups of people who should still limit or avoid walnuts altogether. And the reasons might surprise you. Alright, so we've talked about how most seniors can enjoy walnuts safely. But here's the truth that almost no one brings up. Even the healthiest foods can become risky for certain people, especially as we age. After 60, your digestion slows, your medications increase, and your body just doesn't process things quite the same way it used to. So, if you've ever wondered whether walnuts might be too much of a good thing for you, pay close attention, because these are the 5 groups of people who should either limit or skip walnuts altogether. 1. those with a history of kidney stones. Walnuts are naturally high in oxalates, compounds that bind with calcium to form crystals in your kidneys. For most people, that's no big deal. But if you've ever had calcium oxalate stones, even small amounts can raise your risk again. According to the National Kidney Foundation, regularly eating high oxalate foods like walnuts can aggravate stones, especially if you're not staying hydrated. Pro tip: if you've had kidney stones, enjoy walnuts just once or twice a week and drink plenty of water, at least 8 to 10 glasses a day. Or swap in lower oxalate nuts like almonds or pumpkin seeds, which are much gentler on your kidneys. 2. People taking blood-thinning medications. Walnuts' omega-3 fats are great for heart health, but they also naturally thin your blood. When combined with anticoagulants like warfarin, clopidogrel, or even high-dose fish oil, that effect can go too far. Research from the NIH shows that excess omega-3s can boost bleeding risk by up to 40%, especially in older adults whose liver function is slower. Pro tip: don't avoid walnuts completely, just scale back. 3 or 4 halves a day is plenty, and always let your doctor know you're eating them so your dosage can be adjusted safely. 3. Seniors with digestive issues, IBS, IBD, or a sensitive gut. Walnuts are full of fiber and healthy fats, but for people with irritable bowel syndrome or chronic inflammation, they can be a little too much to handle. Gas, bloating, and stomach cramps are common complaints. Pro tip: soak your walnuts in warm water for about 30 minutes before eating. It softens the fiber and makes them easier to digest. Or try ground flaxseed or chia for a gentler omega-3 boost. 4. Those with high uric acid or gout. Here's one most people have never heard. Walnuts contain purines, compounds that break down into uric acid. For someone with gout or high uric acid levels, that can trigger painful flare-ups, especially in your toes or knees. Pro tip: if you've had gout before, keep your walnut portions small and swap them out sometimes for hemp or sesame seeds. They're low in purines and still anti-inflammatory. 5. Those on weight loss or blood sugar diets. Walnuts pack a ton of nutrients, but they're also dense in calories, about 185 per ounce. For seniors trying to manage weight or blood sugar, that can sneak up fast. Too many walnuts can also slow insulin response, making blood sugar harder to control. Pro tip: stick to 5 halves a day and pair them with protein like Greek yogurt or cottage cheese to keep your blood sugar steady. Here's the takeaway: it's not about fear, it's about precision. The best health results come from knowing your body, your medications, and your limits. For most healthy adults, around 7 walnut halves a day is the sweet spot. Enough to fuel your heart and brain, not enough to stress your system. But now that you know who should limit them, there's one last piece of walnut wisdom every senior needs to hear. The powerful conclusion that ties it all together: how to eat walnuts the right way for lifelong energy, memory, and heart health. So, what's the big takeaway here? Simple. Walnuts really are one of nature's most powerful foods. Packed with omega-3s for your heart, antioxidants for your brain, and plant protein for your muscles, they can absolutely help you age stronger, sharper, and healthier. But like every superfood, the magic isn't in the food itself, it's in how you use it. Because after 60, your body changes. Your metabolism slows down, your digestion gets a little more sensitive, and your liver doesn't process fats like it used to. That means the difference between healing and harm isn't the walnut, it's your awareness. Eat too many, and your metabolism takes a hit. Eat them too close to your meds, and your prescriptions might not work as well. Store them wrong, and those healthy oils turn toxic. Ignore early allergy signals, and your immune system starts fighting you instead of protecting you. But here's the empowering truth. When you do it right, walnuts can become your daily ally for longevity. Just 7 fresh halves a day, stored cold, eaten mindfully, and spaced away from medication time. That's all it takes to keep your brain sharp, your energy steady, and your heart strong well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Think of it like tuning up a classic car. You're not trying to make it brand new again. You're maintaining it so it keeps running beautifully. Your body works the same way. With the right habits, it rewards you. So before you grab your next handful, ask yourself, am I eating these the smart way? Because the small changes you make today can completely transform how you feel tomorrow. And if this helped you see walnuts in a new light, share it with someone you care about. You'd be surprised how many friends or family members are unknowingly making the same mistakes. Remember, your body isn't breaking down, it's just recalibrating. And when you give it what it truly needs, it'll thank you with more energy, more focus, and more years of vibrant living. This is Ageless Vitality, reminding you, every day is a chance to rebuild your best years, one smart choice at a time. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. We regularly share new videos focused on senior health, independence, aging well, and natural solutions. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below and feel free to share this video with friends or family who might benefit. More helpful videos are on the way. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.